Hey, coming up right now, a judge resigns after she's caught texting during a murder trial. You're not going to believe who she was messaging.
Also coming up, a toddler gets stuck in one of those claw machines as his parents and police rush to get him out.
All right, a little bit later on. This is really kind of cool because a man proves that you should never give up on your dreams or your passions, no matter what age you are.
We are diving into the Daily Flash
I like that.
right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We got an hour of greatness headed your way, and we're so appreciative that you're joining us.
Yes, and Matt Doolittle joining us as well.
Yeah, Maddie's been traveling everywhere. Went to Mexico last week. Any travel plans coming up now?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Zinc, Arkansas.
Zinc.
Zinc.
Yeah. Now, it caught my eye because it's been described as stumbling into the movie set of The House of Wax, Children of the Corn, and Deliverance all in one place. So, I
That's
mean,
the
it's a lot to
description.
see, I bet.
That's got to be from the Chamber of Commerce. They're wanting people to.
I mean, the judge's wife was the hairstylist, the judge was also the mechanic, and the sheriff was his son. So, I mean, it sounds like a hoot.
It's a family affair.
Yes.
Agree.
I like it. Do you remember the gal Rachel Dolezal?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that name.
She was saying that she was African American.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay, anyway, she's back in the headlines.
Okay.
And apparently she is now an elementary school teacher out in Colorado, I believe. And she also has an OnlyFans page.
Oh,
wow.
right. And is it the OnlyFans that we're familiar with or known as? Because there's people that get OnlyFans now. They're saying, "Oh, this is legit. I'm not going to do it." But
So
this is
I
not the
guess
case.
she goes by her Rachel name on the OnlyFans, but she's changed her name to become an elementary school teacher.
And you remember her? This was the she identifies as a black woman, and she was with, I believe, the NAACP out there and everything.
Yeah.
All
And then
right,
come
well.
to find out, she was born Caucasian.
All right.
But she identifies as a black person.
And we say there's somebody for everybody, and if that's if what was his name, Santos has an OnlyFans,
Yes,
so why not her,
George
right?
Santos.
All right, let's go to the middle of the country, Oklahoma, where a judge there is caught sending hundreds of texts during a murder trial. Well, now she stepped down from the bench. It's District Judge Tracy Soderstrom. She resigned 3 days before she was scheduled to go to trial on her own in a special court. Now, listen, this is actual security. Look, you're seeing what they saw in the courtroom. It showed her on the phone during a murder trial back in June of 2023. The defendant in that trial was accused of killing his girlfriend's 2-year-old son, later found guilty. An investigation revealed that the judge had exchanged more than, ready, 500 text messages with the bailiff during the trial. So the bailiff's not taking any notice of what's going on. Now get this, their messages included inappropriate comments about the physical appearance of some of the attorneys, the jurors, and the witnesses. She called the prosecutor a derogatory name as well, saying that, and said that one of the prosecutor's witnesses was lying, was telling the judge she's lying. So all of this is happening as it happened. It's happened outside of Oklahoma City, I believe in Lincoln County. And it goes to show you, first off, we put these people in place. They have to know what they represent. And then we also learn the lesson, there's cameras everywhere, right?
Exactly. To be behind the bench like that and to be on your phone the whole
Not
time,
paying attention.
not paying attention, I could see how they could, outlaw or restrict phones in the courtroom altogether, including the judge.
And I think, and a lot of judges will say, absolutely no cell phones in this room whatsoever. I think that there's, when you become a judge, you're judging somebody's life. There's got to be a little bit of a God complex that goes on. So it has to be a very special person. This person obviously
Too
was not
judgy.
that. Too judgy.
Too
Yes,
judgy.
exactly.
Yes, exactly. Well, Australian police came to the aid of a 3-year-old boy after he ended up inside one of those claw machines. Yet again, one of the claw machine
Here we go.
stories. Video of the rescued boy was shared by police. It shows the toddler sitting inside the glass-walled box filled with plush toys, totally unaware of his situation. The boy's father said his son had disappeared into the claw machine's prize dispenser, and inside of it, in just a split second, he turned and he was gone in a split second. The video then shows the officers and the boy's parents encouraging him into a safe corner at the back of the machine and to cover his eyes while the police shattered the glass panel to free him. The video ends with one of the officers joking with the boy, "So you want a prize, which one do you want?"
Yeah, what I love, and more than likely, this was Dad's day to watch. I'm telling you. I know Mom was probably around
You're
there
right.
as well, but because how do you? It takes. I would imagine it takes a little while to get up in there, but you turn around and you're talking about a toddler. I would dress. I have 4 kids. I would dress them all in the same color, like red, and that way I can do a scan real quick. All right, red, or yellow, something that would pop up. But for that has to take a little while. You can't just slide up into this.
There's a flap in there that keeps
Yeah.
you from putting your arm up, isn't there? Or
They're making them. I've seen them now where they make them. They're child-proof, basically, so that not to open up just so that you can't get inside it. I've seen where they have stickers on the side that says, it says child-proof, and also keep your eye on your kids, because this is a huge problem. We've heard this is at least the fourth time.
A dozen stories like this, right?
Unbelievable.
You have to look for the old school claw machines if you, as a toddler, want to do that anymore.
Yes, I agree.
See,
Dad was too busy trying to beat his record on asteroids.
That's exactly what it was.
I find Mitch in those same machines in Vegas, but they're totally giving away different things.
That's 100% true. They're trying to eliminate those.
A 100-year-old diver is performing at the 2024 World Championships, standing on the edge of a platform with the water rippling below. 100-year-old Taghi Asghari prepares to dive. The Iranian won a silver and bronze medal at the first ever Asian Games in 1951 and has never lost his passion for the sport. Fast forward to 2024 and his exhibition dive at the 2024 World Championships in Doha. This is just 2 weeks ahead of the World Aquatic Championships, where he will be the oldest competitor. Asghari first encountered diving in a swimming pool near his childhood home in Iran, where other children were somersaulting into the water.
And he's in better shape than I am.
He looks better in a Speedo than both of us.
No, 100%. Yeah, I was looking at him. I'm like, first, 100 years old, there is an age, I can tell you, as I got older, there's an age you don't care. All right, and you will wear a Speedo because you don't care anymore.
You don't care.
But if you have a great body, you want to show it off. This guy, I think, I love this because he followed his passion. Number one, obviously, to do that, but then to do it at that age and continue on, it shows you that the human body can do this. We just, have to stay active. And obviously, he seems to.
That is the key, because if you talk to a lot of people who have reached that 100 age mark, most of them will say, "I just keep moving. I keep my body moving. I keep my brain moving," and that is the key to it. Because once you start to get sedentary, things start to.
They just start dripping. Even your cognitive skills too. So keep that in mind. The 2024 Olympics, they're going to allow athletes to take a little piece of Paris home with them. Organizers reveal that this year's medals will include a piece of iron that's from the Eiffel Tower. Planning committee called on French Jewelry House to help with that design. Each prize will feature a piece of iron in the middle of the shape of a hexagon to represent France. It will also be left in its original form and embossed with the Paris 2024 emblem to give it a two-tone effect. The 2024 Olympic Games gets underway July 26th. Paralympics will follow that about a month later, and they'll also receive an Eiffel Tower inspired medal. I like that. That
cool.
says something about the city and just says, hey, we want to make this our own. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I like the thought being put into it. It's very French, to do something with the Eiffel Tower and a jeweler and to have everybody involved.
I love that. All right. This morning, because I knew we were doing this story, I never thought about it until we all started discussing this. So maybe this discussion could happen when you get into your job today. When you take a shower, are you normal or unhinged? It's actually a question that's going viral on social media, and it started when a daughter was asking for her mom advice on remodeling the shower. This is what we're talking about. Watch.
Just been informed by my mom that there are 2 ways people shower, and we just realized that we both do the opposite thing. So when I shower, the shower head is behind me, so the water is like on my hair and down my back. Of course, I'll turn around occasionally and move around, but she showers primarily facing the shower head, so the water hits her in the face and down her body. And she's shocked that I do the opposite, and I'm shocked that she does the opposite. I feel like the normal way to shower is with the shower head behind you and you're facing that way. Is anyone else surprised by this?
Okay, really quick. So I thought we were getting video of her showering. What happened, Noah?
No.
Huh?
That's for a different show.
Well, I was researching the wrong video.
You have to subscribe to that.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this morning I was thinking, I'll wait. What do you do?
I do both because I've got
Depends
the
on what you're
overhead.
at.
Yeah, and I've got the overhead rain shower, and then I've got the handheld.
You know how expensive it is? We're remodeling the house. It's expensive to do
expensive,
that.
yes.
Maddie, what do you?
I just get a blast in the face and do a couple twirls and I'm out.
Here's what.
Twirls,
This is
okay.
how Matt showers when he's basically going in from intake down at the county. They just
Hose me down.
hose it, spraying him down there like that. I'm a
sugar was delicious.
I'm a back.
You're a back shower.
I'm always a back shower, and I never even realize it. You know, I turn around if I'm washing my face or whatever.
Yeah.
But the shower is my time, man, and I stay in the shower too long because it's relaxing to me. So I'll just stand there like this all the time.
Like Charlie Brown?
Yes. The music plays, real sad music. I'm like, I get sad because I see things. All right, we got more Flash coming up right after this. If you go anywhere, you miss it. I'm gonna go take a shower.
Please.
I feel dirty. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. Tax season. The feds have so many new rules. Even celebrities may need an army of accountants to keep up. But if you don't have that type of money, don't worry. You got an army of taxes. I don't need it. We got the Sassy Accountant is joining us, Shantel Williams. Welcoming you back. You're going to give us some tips on what we need to do. Do we got to send our blood type this year for our government? Because they want to know everything. What do people need to be on the lookout for? You got some few tips and things that people need to be aware of.
Just have your paperwork in order. The main one is going to be if you have filed, did insurance, to have your insurance paperwork. Whether you want to file it on your own or use a professional, if you do not have your actual insurance documentation to prove you paid for insurance, you will get held up.
Okay, don't want that to happen at all. You got some tips also that you're talking about contributing to retirement accounts. All right, you got 401ks, but let's say your company doesn't offer one. What do you do?
You can actually start your own. Get with a financial advisor and it will really, really help. I have a couple clients who actually invest in their own IRAs and stocks and investments, and what they end up doing is able to count it as a write-off, and so it helps a whole lot on their tax.
And if you don't know where to start, an accountant is a perfect place. They know that, hey, listen, not everybody gets what this 401k deal is all about. Be able to answer that in IRAs and that sort of thing. All right, organize your records for tax time. That just seems pretty important. But before that, you want to make a last-minute estimated tax payment. Why, and what is that?
So you want to do that because if you actually make over $150,000, you're going to get hit big time. So you want to make sure that you know exactly how much you need to pay. You can actually go on irs.gov and run the calculations to see how much you need to pay if you don't have an accountant or a tax professional to assist you doing that. And it will also help you make a decision if you need to put some more in your investments or your investment account before the end of the year.
Okay, that makes and so it's less stressful this time when it happens. Yes. Okay, and we always hear about itemization and keeping receipts. Is it that big of a deal?
Well, if you're self-employed, yes, because you can count a lot on your taxes as a write-off, especially if you're getting a Schedule C done on your tax return. And you want to make sure that you're counting your losses in the right places, because you can actually count everything as a loss, and in doing so, you're broke. So you don't want to be broke on paper, but you still want to be rich, right?
Sure.
So
Yes.
there's a way to be rich broke at the same time, as long as you keep your paperwork and the people you work with know exactly where to put those losses at.
And they will. A good accountant will be able to do just that. You talk about filing and paying on time. Now, that just makes sense, but why is that so important?
Well, it's important because you will get hit with penalties and fees. But here's the thing. If you actually take the time to sit with someone and do tax planning in advance, because you can invest in other places, you can give yourself a bonus, you can give yourself more money in your 401k or your IRA. So you can structure it so you can give yourself more money instead of IRS more money. And then that also will save you in your taxes in the end.
Okay. Now, I've also heard, I guess it's a rumor, that you should, wait until like April 15th to file, because then your paperwork's all the way down at the bottom, and you're not going to get audited or less chance audit. Is that true?
No, not really. The time of the year really doesn't matter. But if you're in the beginning, in that first batch, because so many people are actually filing your taxes and the system is ran through a computer, believe it or not, it'll just kind of process you through. So the earlier, the better, but make sure you take time to actually, get a quote.
Yeah, make sure that you know that, number one, that everything that you have turned in is okay, is fine. If you're missing a form, will they let you know immediately? Or?
They will. So the system will let you know if it's something imperative for you to have when you're filing your taxes. It'll actually won't even let us process it through. Like again, your insurance documentation. If we don't have that, it will not let it through.
Okay, it's a little safeguard, I guess you could say that. And then finally, filing electronically is very important.
Yeah, filing electronically is really good because then you can have an actual electronic trail. You can set up an account on irs.gov and you can be able to go inside and check the status of it, see if you owe anything, or if you're getting a return back and you actually owe money, the deduct that from what you owe, and it'll be like you're paying them back with some of the money you'll get.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make when they file?
Not shopping around. Most people just do their taxes on their own, or they use the software that they can do free services on. But here's the thing, it's not really free. It starts off free. And then if you want them to open up more features, you got to pay an extra $29, an extra
Okay.
$50, an extra $80. And at the end of the day, you're paying the same thing you would have paid a professional to do the job for you. So be careful about using free online resources and shop around. Like, take the time. We had someone come to us and they only got a $6,000 quote back for what they would have received back. When we were done, they were getting $13,000.
Wow.
Because of the deductions and the itemizations and understanding the laws. They change daily. So you want to work with someone who's actually up on the laws.
You mentioned $150,000 a couple times as a kind of like a requirement. Is that like if you're married or individually?
Married individually, that's kind of that number. So now if your income exceeds that, you want to have some kind of other side business. You want to do hair, bake cakes, babysit, do something at the church. You want to bring in another stream of income that you can file on a Schedule C so you can have some losses and walk away with some money.
I'm loving that idea. And then finally, the deduction people forget about that they need to know about.
Oh, their tithes and offerings from church. They forget that
really?
one. Yes, your tithes and offering from church, daycare. If you have daycare, aftercare, or children's sports activities, that's a huge one. And then also, if you are a W-2 person and you also have a 1099, don't just toss it off as, oh, it was just a couple $100. Claim that. If you've made more than $600 from any source at all, claim that money, because that will offset some of your tax responsibilities.
You know, we think of that too. You want to get the numbers together, how much you have to pay in taxes and how much you've made. Am I right on that?
Yes, of course.
And you say get a second job learning hair. I'm going to set up an appointment. I'm going to do your hair, all right?
All right, you can do it.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Hey, listen, we love having you on. You always lay it out perfectly.
Thank you.
Sassy Accountant. You can check out the ALP firm. You can go and find out more details as well. ALPfirm.com. Get those taxes in on time and correctly so you don't get audited at all. We have more Flash coming up right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We love you. We're going to learn more about car smarts and exactly just how your car insurance, speaking of car insurance, makes a big deal and you might be paying more.
Wow.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. All right, you found the perfect car you've been looking for. Now what? Well, you got to get it insured, right? In today's Car Smarts, Lauren Fix, the car coach, tells us why, well, you're probably going to be paying a lot more.
Car insurance rates are going to increase again. Big insurers say they need to boost their premiums further to offset higher costs for repairs. Is that really true? Well, experts are predicting car insurance rates will rise at least 8.4% this year, and that started back in January, and at least they're expecting more increases from the two largest insurers. They're saying their rates rose that much more in the first quarter, and they're expecting even more hikes before the year end. So buckle up. Everything is about to get more expensive, and it's important you know what and why. Let's start with inflation. It is here. And as everything is increasing in price, from fuel to food to housing, the rate of customer car insurance claims is not rising. And insurance companies are getting away with fewer insurance claims and record profits. And that was back during COVID-19 lockdowns as well, when traffic was light, people were staying at home, and minor fender benders were at an all-time low. Now, the most common insurance claim is a fender bender. And now that driving habits have returned to pretty much normal, people are back on the roads and moving around with life. And insurance claims are starting to creep back up to normal levels. And prices on car parts and repairs are still high. And since parts are hard to get and they're backlogged, that's leaving more customers to rely on insurance-provided rentals, which means they're taking a little bit more of a loss. Then there's been a sharp rise in catastrophic claims, both in autos and in homeowner insurance. Think about all the snowstorms, hurricanes, and tornadoes we've had across the country. And thanks to unprecedented flooding and strong storms in cities across the U.S., companies like Allstate saw catastrophic losses because of surges in claims by over $1 billion in the first quarter compared to last year. And Allstate executives said rates would go up until we get back to our historic profit margins. Insurance companies are claiming that they're falling on hard times and taking losses. Progressive shares slipped 2.5% following the release of their quarterly shareholder letter. They have reduced advertising for their well-known marketing character known as Flo, the fictional salesperson. Progressive said the move, being accompanied by premium rate increases, is not intended to bring growth to a screeching halt. Any impact would depend on how rivals also adjust their prices. Insurance companies claim that they need rate increases of around 10 more points. That's 10% this year, just to catch up and stay ahead of all the trends of the higher costs and claims for private passenger vehicles. So far, drivers have seen increases in the range of 8 to 12%. Adding another 10% would be absolutely crazy. The average price of a new car is just shy of $50,000 and $66,000 for an electric vehicle, which has even higher insurance rates. Make sure to shop around online before you renew your insurance policy. Don't assume they're going to give you a great rate, because they may not be. And you can save a few dollars by increasing your deductible. You can take safe driver courses, points reduction classes, and bundle your home and car insurance. I'm starting to sound like Flo. I don't know how that happened. But it's important that you do your homework and don't just renew the policy. I'm Lauren Fix, and you can find this information on my website, carcoachreports.com and dailyflashshow.com.
Well, thanks, Lauren. Well, in this week's Furry Friends, I know most of us here at Daily Flash are pet lovers and have our little furry friends at home. I've got my Bizkit, the Kiki, Mitch has his cats, Andrea has her dogs, but there's that inevitable part of being a pet owner when they have to cross that rainbow to the other side. And up till now, the idea of grieving a pet wasn't brought to light. Well, now support groups are popping up all over the country for grieving pet owners. Now, there's a good chance you're going to outlive your pets, especially the basic house cat or dog, by many years. And to most of us, they become a part of the family. The president of the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement says people sometimes think they're going crazy because of what they're feeling and how badly they feel over the loss of a pet. Other experts credit the spike in the need to talk about the loss of their pet because of the pandemic, which they say made people more aware of the grief and more inclined to express it. Many people found themselves becoming closer to their pets during the lockdowns. Now, the best course is to find a legit support group in your local area via a shelter or an animal medical center, and watch out for those scam organizations online that just want to take your money to pat you on the back. So it's important that, once you grieve that pet, I know I had to put down a dog a few years ago, and it really crushed my whole family. Now, once you've grieved over your animal, the next thing is to look for a companion if you're so inclined. And experts say it's always right to find that perfect companion. So just make sure you go through the right steps, talk to some people, get some experts, and definitely check out those shelters because they'll give you the best advice. And Mitch, I don't know how you are with the pet grieving. I know you've had a few dogs and stuff in the past, so it can be pretty traumatizing.
It's horrible, actually, having to put a dog or even a cat down. It's really, really bad stuff. Good information. Love that, Matt. We got more Flash coming up after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
We have great stuff still to come this last half hour, so we definitely appreciate you hanging out with us. And if you're a iPhone or an Apple user and you're on Facebook, you might have noticed something that's pretty annoying. And no, we're not talking about your aunt's posts. We're talking about this new chirp. Have you heard it?
No.
Now, it hasn't really bothered me because I always keep my phone on silent for the most part. But if you don't, and you go on Facebook and you start scrolling, you hear like a ding or a chirp, right? It's like a chirp that they have set up for some reason. God knows why. No one knows. I guess other than to let everybody know you're on Facebook is pretty much what it is. Well, it's very, very annoying because every time you swipe up, it'll make that or a ding sound, right? So there is a way to turn it off. You just go to your settings and you go to privacy and then media and then sounds and then say in-app sounds. And then you turn it off, and you won't hear that chirp anymore. Or just do what Jackson and I do, is just keep it on silent.
They make it so difficult for you to get rid of these annoying things,
100%,
right?
yes, you're right.
I mean, why put something like that? Can we put that in the pile of the pokes?
Yes.
Remember when the
Oh,
Facebook
yeah.
what was the
Forgot about Pokes,
Facebook
man.
Pokes, remember that?
I totally remember
That's
that.
so dumb. It's like, okay, that goes in the poke file.
That's a blast from past. How do you remember that? I totally remember that. That's
Because they
funny.
irritated the heck out of me.
Yeah, that chirp definitely. It hasn't done it yet, but I'm sure it would.
It's the new poke.
Yes, the new poke.
Well, check this out. An Oklahoma judge caught sending hundreds of texts during a murder trial has stepped down from the bench. District Judge Tracy Soderstrom resigned 3 days before she was scheduled to go on trial in a special court. Security footage showed Soderstrom on her phone during a murder trial in June of 2023. The defendant in that trial was accused of killing his girlfriend's 2-year-old son and was later found guilty. An investigation revealed that the judge had exchanged more than 500 text
Dear
messages
Lord.
with her bailiff during the trial. Their messages included inappropriate comments about the physical appearance of some of the attorneys, the juries, and even the witnesses.
You can see her right there doing it. I mean, this is the actual video. It's her on the phone, but it doesn't even look like she's really kind of looking around, just kind of seeing what's happening. You can see it's obviously the person that's being questioned. It's tearful. So, like, how are you absorbing anything that's going on
You're not.
when you're doing this? That's why Facebook put the chirp thing on there, right?
That explains
Now,
it.
500 messages to your bailiff, who's always right with you all the time. I'd like to know what else was talked about.
What's
'cause I'm
going
sorry.
on there?
She did say some.
Explicit?
Yes, I guess it's about the closest to it. And she was laughing. They were making fun of the prosecutors, certain things about the prosecutor. While the trial's going on, how can you keep a level mind out of that?
You can't. And you notice she kind of gives the courtesy glance every once in a while in that security
yeah.
cam footage. But I don't know about you, but I'll be on my phone, and if I'm watching a television show, I'm kind of toggling back and forth between the two things. A couple of times I've had to put the phone down and restart the show, and it's amazing how much stuff I've missed because my attention is split
Okay.
between what I'm watching and my phone.
It makes a lot of sense.
And if in just a simple scenario like that, you realize, how much you can miss in the general, grand scheme of things. She's a judge.
And this is real life.
Yes.
This is really happening. And even talking about something as heinous as a child being murdered. And I, by all means, yes. And she actually should have more than just being taken off of being. She's never going to be able to be a judge again. Oh wow. Well, but to me, every case that she's ever gone, if I was convicted, I know I would go back and say, well, I want to review all the cameras and see what she's doing.
Oh, I could see that happening.
And more than likely, that is going to happen. And there's a lot of great judges out there.
Yes.
And it is a position where you're thinking, as we said, you're judging somebody, and that is a lot of responsibility to go down. So it's unfortunate to do that. And again, remember, cameras are everywhere.
Well, and
she was busted, cold busted.
In some respects, it's kind of a good thing that this happened because it unmasks her as an individual,
That's a good
right?
point, yeah.
If she's supposed to be a judge and impartial, yet she's up there texting about other people's appearances in the court, then what, is she really qualified to be a judge? Apparently, she's
That makes a
not.
good point.
So maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
You have some of these judges too. They come in and say, "I want absolutely no cell phones in this room, and if I ever catch anybody, you're kicking out, or you're going to be held in contempt." So she should actually, if she can give that order, throw somebody in contempt to do something like that, she should be in jail as well. We'd love to know what you think about it. Why don't you drop us an email, flash@dailyflashshow.com.
In today's Life Love Shopping, our focus is on love. Please welcome Arlene Peliane, a top marriage and parenting author, to our show. Arlene, welcome. You just wrapped up Marriage Week, and you're here to tell us more.
It's so good to be with you. National Marriage Week runs every year from February 7th to 14th. And it's a week to say, hey, you know what? Marriage, sometimes it gets bad press or not enough press. And this is a week to say marriage is a good thing. It's good for people. It's good for our nation. It's good for kids. So it's been a really fun week.
This year's theme for Marriage Week is Love Beyond Words. Why this angle for 2024?
Yeah, love beyond words. It's kind of like, don't just talk about it, do it, So when you said I do, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, love beyond words, this theme is, hey, let's fulfill the vows that we make. Let's say that's something I committed to, and I'm going to show up for you. Let's have that love beyond words that's not just cheap talk, but it's actions, things as small as, hey, this is my favorite dessert we're sharing, and I'll let you have the, last bite, to as big as a person I just recently talked to, their husband had lost his eyesight. And for the past 9 years, he said, she's been my eyes. She'd made sure that I match. She's made sure that I get to my places on time. So it's a love beyond words that keeps showing up over and over again. That's really beautiful.
Well, it's hard to match that as an example, but are there other ways
Right?
we can
I wanted
love
to give you the
beyond
spectrum,
words?
you know,
Yeah.
the bite of dessert to all the way to taking care of someone.
Right. Any other ways that are simple for us just in a daily basis? You mentioned, the last scoop of dessert. Other ways we can love beyond words that are simple, but mean a lot.
Yeah, we think of this rhythm of daily connection and weekly dates and regular getaways. So daily connection, that's about, I'm going to spend 2 minutes without my phone, just looking at you and talking to you, or we'll take a short walk at the end of the day. Or, I'll send you a text and tell you that I love you in the middle of the day. Or I know a couple, they always have coffee together. No matter what happens in their schedule, they get up before that happens and they have 10 minutes together and they have coffee. So it's a daily connection that lets your spouse know, I got you and I still care about you, and then that weekly date. I love to tell people, shoot for a weekly date and you'll probably get 1 or 2 a month, and that is just fine. But
Yeah.
it gives you something to look forward to. Make it novel, make it creative at marriageweek.org. Our website, we have all these creative date nights so that you can kind of make it more interesting, whether it's making a list from A to Z and kind of trying to find a date that kind of goes with each one of those letters, or try to see what can you accomplish with $25? Can you actually feed yourself with $25? So just try to infuse some different things and don't stop dating. And then regular getaways, like put something on your calendar. Even if you have young kids, your baby won't remember that you were away for 24 hours, your toddler won't remember, but your spouse will remember. And so whether it's saving up for that vacation of a lifetime, or it's going a half an hour away and spending the night at a hotel and having 24 hours, those regular getaways, those are always love beyond words to show I still care about you.
What are some of the statistics saying about the state of marriage today, and how is it impacting our younger generation?
Yeah, we always hear, the divorce rate, all these things. The divorce rate is actually down, but it kind of makes sense because the marriage rate is also down. So the marriage rate has fallen by 65% since 1970. And if you look, for instance, at the silent generation, 81% of them got married. The boomers, 61% of them got married. Gen X, 53%, millennials, 44%. You can see, Andrea, this is, we're ticking down in terms of who's they're getting married. And what it means moving forward, if it continues in this trajectory, is that 1 out of 3 young people will never marry. And that's a pretty sobering statistic from an economical standpoint, from a fertility replacement standpoint,
Sure.
and just a happiness standpoint, because we always talk about college, go to college, but those boosts, college gives you a
Good
64%
stuff.
boost in happiness.
Arlene, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Stay with us. We're
Thank
back
you.
right after this.
What is KSA Entertainment? It's trending news, entertainment, lifestyle,
KSA Entertainment.
culture. It's love. It's food. It's family. It's life. It's shopping. It's empowerment. KSA Entertainment. It's fitness. It's travel. KSA. It's fun. It's engaging. It's Daily Flash. Daily Flash Latino. Life, love, shopping. This is KSA Entertainment.
The big New York Auto Show is ramping up. Here with the latest in new cars is Mike Caudell.
Welcome to the New York Auto Show, the longest running continual auto show over the last 124 years, where the cars are the stars. Starting with this over my shoulder, this is the all-new Ford Explorer. You can see the exterior hasn't changed all that much because their consumers have said, we love the look of this vehicle. On the inside, a complete overhaul of the Ford Explorer. For the first time, you will get their level 2 hands-free autonomous driving called Blue Cruise, and the ST version, which is their high-performance version, will receive a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 pushing out 400 horsepower, not to mention 5G connectivity on the inside of this vehicle. Look, the new Nissan Kicks is incredible. This is their small crossover utility vehicle. Price will start right around $22,000. What I love the most is that they are really gearing this towards a younger audience. Tons of connectivity on the inside with this massive touchscreen, lots of cargo capacity, LED lights up on front, but the exterior design is what sets this all-wheel drive Nissan Kicks apart. All right, right, let's go back to 1958 with the Toyota Land Cruiser. Shares that same boxy exterior look, the Toyota logo up front. Look at the rear of this vehicle. Lots of cargo capacity, LED lights, but it's all about the inside. It's luxurious. There's lots of technology on the inside, brown, supple leather seats, but they want you to know this vehicle can go off-road with front and rear locking differentials. Now, Subaru in the news a lot lately. Sales are great for the manufacturer, and it's all about adventure and off-road with this Subaru Forester, one of their best-selling vehicles of all time. It will get a refinement on the exterior. It will get an all-new interior. It will have symmetrical all-wheel drive. Look at the two-tone colored seats on the inside of this vehicle. And of course, in this second row, fold-down seats so that you can store all your gear. All right, check out the Hyundai Tucson. The Tucson is redesigned for the new model year. You get this great exterior olive green color. Lots of technology with this massive touchscreen on the inside. Great safety features with the Tucson and all-wheel drive. It's all about getting off-road with adventure. Check out the Lexus GX 550 Overtrail Plus. You don't normally think of Lexus and off-roading. Well, you're getting it with this vehicle right here. You'll get a 3.4-liter twin-turbocharged V6 under the hood, so you can use the horsepower to get just about anywhere with an 8,000-pound towing capacity. It's all about luxury on the inside. It's all about performance on the outside. All right, we need to talk about electrics. It's the wave of the future. The Subaru Solterra coming in north of 220 miles of range. The exterior design is what sets this vehicle apart. You get plenty of technology with this as well, not to mention ground clearance, 9.3 inches of ground clearance and a price north of $40,000. And many of these vehicles are not only on dealerships now, but expect to see them this summer. I'm Mike Caudill.
We often hear that true beauty radiates from within. And for someone like Sunny Lee, the manifestation of this statement goes beyond the dazzling medals she's earned on the Olympic stage. As a three-time Olympic medalist, today she graciously joins us to share insights into her holistic approach to health, beauty, and wellness. Welcome, Sunny.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Training is going really well. I had a competition about a month ago, and now we're just trying to build up from that, stay more consistent, add new skills in my routine, and just build up the difficulty because I think if I'm able to get my difficulty and stamina up, I think the rest of the year will be really well. It's important to make time for yourself and just find time to do things that you really love that make you feel good about yourself. I do a lot of like self-care, so I'm constantly doing things like whether it's shopping, self-care day, face masks, taking care of your skin and your hair. I love obviously like my hair is super long, super healthy. I try not to wash it as much. I think that's a really pro tip. I've been loving the Batiste Sweat and Touch Dry Shampoo. The sweat activated shampoo, like if you spray it in your hair while you're sweating and just floof up your hair, it looks like you just washed your hair and it works for up to 24 hours. It reactivates when you sweat and it keeps you fresh all day. And same with the Touch Activated. They're just so amazing. And it's something that I actually use every single day. So take care of yourself. It's super important. I try to eat as healthy as possible, but also just doing things that I love and trying not to limit myself to too many things because, like I said, like I've been doing a lot. So doing things that help my mental health and physical health have been super important to me.
1 in 250 men in the U.S. will be diagnosed with testicular cancer. And because it's an uncomfortable topic, the Testicular Cancer Society has launched a new creative campaign to get men checking by interrupting free kick highlights in men's soccer to encourage them to self-check.
The newest prevention campaign from the Testicular Cancer Society is an engaging take on an awkward subject. The NPO has launched instructional videos that tackle a major problem.
You need to check your testicles.
Men don't watch self-exams because they're extremely cringy.
Moving down the testicle, then back up, coming across the testicle.
But using clever media placement and an underappreciated YouTube technology, the team created seamless messaging in videos men love to watch. During free kicks, defending players protect their groins with their hands, setting the scene for a well-placed tutorial.
He's on the attack for lumps, changes in size, shape or other irregularities. Regular checks are key. At full time, it's balls 2, cancer 0.
With a green screen, different colour football jerseys and shorts, and voiceovers in the languages of the world's biggest football fans,
Entrei con la ricerca di grooming.
O que aquele jogador está fazendo?
Während jede zwischen Finger und Daumen rollt. The clips played in multiple leagues.
Highlight Your Balls is a great example of how clever YouTube placement can create a highly engaging and effective campaign.
Unfortunately, most men aren't aware how to do a self-exam exactly, and we recently published a paper looking at the use of humor for testicular cancer education, and it is very effective if done properly.
The result is over 100 different clips in 7 languages, united by one purpose: to keep men cancer-free.
Thanks for all that great info. We'll have it on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
KSA Entertainment believes in our communities. We value those who have dedicated their lives to enrich our own. KSA Entertainment is proud to introduce our corporate initiative, KSA Cares. KSA Cares shines a light, gives a voice, and lends a helping hand through compelling awareness initiatives. From supporting veterans to environmental awareness, KSA Entertainment is proud to produce content supporting ways to help communities all across America.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. It's the year 1969, and an ambitious woman aspires to cross the line between the haves and the have-nots. It's her way of securing a seat at America's most exclusive table. This is today's must-watch series, Palm Royale.
How did you get past security?
I came in the back.
There are no doors on the back of the Palm Royale?
I never said I used the door. I had only been in Palm Beach 2 weeks.
We don't know you.
I'm Maxine Delcourt. But I already knew the Palm Royale, the most exclusive club in the world, was where I belonged.
Evelyn, you are the woman to know in Palm Beach.
I don't like you, Maxine.
You're very good at making things awkward.
I don't concern myself with the shenanigans of vapid poons.
What is Evelyn wearing?
Sleeves.
You know anything about rich people?
I parked on the lawn.
Robert, shake me another martini, and then let's play doctor.
Do you work, Maxine?
God, no. You want to work.
God, no.
You really want all this.
More than anything I've ever wanted in my whole life.
Like to take a few pictures?
Maxine, you're the lead story.
I see us all as one sisterhood.
Are people looking for something new?
Let me tell you a little something about the Palm Royale. It's a nightmare, and that's all thanks to you.
Don't underestimate a Delacourt.
I would never.
Palm Beach is just a shell game. Everybody has a secret.
You two behave.
You don't have to have money. The blackmail is right here.
You don't know the half of it.
What in the fires of Hell's Pits is going on here?
Off we go.
Looks fun.
Kristen Wiig, Ricky Martin, Carol Burnett.
Ricky Martin, you know, who would thunk it? It's going to be interesting to see his acting chops.
If you look at him, though, he looks like a movie star.
Oh, he does.
Idol,
He
right?
always has,
Old
right,
school.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That does it for our show. We definitely appreciate you joining us. Of course, at any time you'd like, you could always check out all the information we talked about on our website.
Yeah, dailyflashshow.com is our web address. Web address. You can drive by there and find us. Use the drive-through, if you will.
And if you want to have more fun, why don't you join us tomorrow? Because we're going to do it all over again. We deeply appreciate you. Y'all take care. We will see you when we look at you.
Be good, everybody.